Hi, just wanted to make a quick tutorial on how do I play with my fingerstyle technique. It's basically the style of Matteo Mancuso, at least inspired by him. So I've developed the entire thing basically on my own, taking inspiration from Matteo, taking inspiration from players such as Paco de Lucia and stuff like this. And the main thing was to develop style of playing that allowed me to get rid of the pick entirely. And I've worked quite a lot for it, and I think the result is satisfying, to me at least. So basically, what have I tried to do, and what the thing I've approached so far. I was playing with the pick for quite a while, like about 10 years or something like this, and I would say I have reasonably decent pick technique. Haven't played quite a while. Okay, so like up to the point of probably technical difficulties, maybe a bit lower. And the thing is, while watching Chris Buck quite a lot, I've seen he's basically playing a lot with his fingers instead of using a pick. So he gets more softer sound, more like dynamic sound, so to say. So something like. And you really can control the dynamics way better when you're using your fingers. And my point was like there is some player that play with their fingers like fingerstyle, like Jeff Beck was a beautiful, my favorite guitar player, Mark Knopfler and stuff like this. And the only downside to their playing to me always was like it's impossible to do some fast like shredding pieces with your fingerstyle, and the only player that did some kind of thing was like classical guitar players like Paco de Lucia and stuff like this. Now, Marcin is a great example if we're taking out newer ones. So basically, I started developing this kind of thing. I've seen Matteo Mancuso's video on technical difficulties, and I've seen like, oh, it is possible. So let me try to figure out how to play this thing. And okay, so I've played a bass, I've played a little bit of classical guitar, and I've started to experiment on how do I approach this thing, how do I do it. So key points is this. First of all, I'm not using my fingernails to play. I'm playing mostly with my finger pads, and the main thing is the attack. So you not like pluck the string, you hit the string with your finger, and the mechanic, the muscle mechanic is basically similar the way you playing with your pick. So when you're playing with a pick, you are not stressing your muscles constantly. You basically have like an impulse of these muscles at this point, then your hands floats like completely relaxed, and then you have a second impulse with your muscles on a second point, one playing the upstroke, for example. So impulse, 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 relaxed, impulse, relaxed, impulse, relaxed. So it's like very economical way of playing. Otherwise you just get your hands like really stuck and really hurt at some point. Okay, so but the thing is, basically it is the same kind of thing. So you do not push the strings with your constantly finger stress out. What you need to do is like develop this kind of motion when you seemingly can do it for quite a long time, and it's basically relaxed kind of motion. So you have to have this kind of simplistic and like when you're sitting and waiting for someone, like drumming on a table and stuff like this. It's basically a similar motion, and it doesn't take much effort to you from you to play this kind of thing. And then what you have to do is you have to align this kind of motion with your string and align it that way so it would not just block the string. You have to align it so it won't hit the string. And try to keep it relaxed and try to keep it like, I would say, streamlined. So when you're playing with your pick and when you first try to learning something, each and single motion when you do it is like a separate effort. So you concentrating on downstroke and then like upstroke and then like downstroke. And at some point you just develop your alternate picking example to the point where it is no longer like a conscious effort. It is more like a automatic. I mean, you don't have to think about it at that point. And the similar thing is over here. So you play with your fingers, and you have to develop them to the point when you do not have to think about like which finger should I use and which string should I hit. It's have to be really automatical. I use mostly like 2 or 3 fingers. 3 fingers is useful when you play triads, so like something like this. You see, my technique is not perfect yet at all, so still lots of flaws in it, but overall I'm kind of okay with this. And when you're using 3 fingers, it's usually getting uncomfortable at some point when you have to make some sort of a scale, some sort of phrases, when you have to alter the strings, alter the fingers, and you have to like be aware that this finger goes here, and then this finger goes here, and then this finger goes here. So it's might get a little bit uncomfortable, and you can develop some sort of set of phrases that would allow you to easily switch between the strings with the 3-finger method. But in my opinion, it takes a bit more effort and a bit more thinking into it, and I really like to play naturally with all those kind of things. So 2-finger method is probably like a simpler for me, and may take a less effort, like less like thinking into it. So yeah. As you can see, I haven't developed myself this kind of streamlined approach when my fingers work like entirely automatically. So at some point, I also kind of starting to think and at a certain point on which finger to use, and it's not very good. At some point when I practice, I basically just take all the attention, all the kind of efforts out of my right hand, and it goes automatically, and that's what you should try to reach. So it's kind of like this, and the main thing is the attack. So when you play this sort of thing, doesn't really matter if it's fingernails. You can grow long fingernails. You can use fingernails from your like banjo style type picking, like plastic things. And basically what matters is the attack. So you have to get your fingers automated, so it would hit the string with constant dynamic, with constant pace and constant speed, I would say. Okay, so when you automate the entire thing, it becomes kind of easy and kind of natural feeling. And what I have to say is, it takes significantly less time to approach the same level of technique you would approach with a pick. Because basically it's more natural to use the fingers than to use something artificial, something in your hand. In terms of sound, I would say in general with high gain or like a crunchy sound, there's little to none difference with the finger picking, and the plectrum, this kind of thing. And more difference you can get when you're comparing, for example, a really thick, like Dunlop 3, Dunlop Jazz 3 picks, like. And when you take like a 0.5 millimeter pick, even a lower gain, you see it's way brighter. And still, all of the guitar players, the most kind of guitar players prefer to use the thicker, like 1.5 millimeter picks. So I don't have like a big concern in terms of the sound and stuff like this. So yeah, in general, something like this. And one other great thing with the finger picking is that you can really kind of sort of modulate your sound, sort of influence its response, influence its kind of spectral frequency stuff. So basically, when you, for example, when you're using your thumb, you can really make a different sounds. And as you can see, the volume is quite similar, but the one approach when I use the tip of my thumb sounds way brighter than when I use like these parts. So it's like it's way more dynamic. And it's all down to dynamics. And when you compare like the picking style with the regular pick and with your fingers, you can see that like a huge difference between these two kind of techniques, because when you start to play this way, you really start to notice that lots of more suppleness in your playing, lots of more little thing you can highlight, lots of more little thing like little phrases, little touches you can communicate with your music. So that's basically it. And generally you just do the same kind of routines that you do with your plectrum, with your like regular picking. So and you see, oh, you just start playing some sort of a and or like with 3 fingers. And it's quite complicated because basically you have like a next finger going down each next string. So I prefer 2-finger method, and basically that's it. And one more thing is the one thing that Matteo do not use is like a palm muting. Palm muting with all finger picking is usually kind of not very usual thing. And what I have developed in this genre, in this kind of field, is I basically using the same thing. So I place my palm over to the somewhere here at the bridge, and then when you use your fingernails with a motion like this, and it does not necessarily allow you to do some really complicated things like technical difficulties and stuff, but it's usually quite enough to do some metal things, some stuff like this. So but after after playing this technique for quite a while, my nails kind of get a little bit damaged, so I don't usually do this often. And one more cool thing you can do with your fingers while incorporating in all this kind of fingerstyle thing is slapping. So slap on guitar is. It's also quite useful, and especially when you're using double thumbing, it's really helps you in a lot of situations. So in general stuff like this, and it's really cool. It's other people who's interested in this kind of technique, not just sticking their minds in the box with all just like regular metal, all this sort of thing. So yeah, please share your feedback on how you approach this thing and what you're doing, how you learn this, and share your progress and stuff like this. This is kind of my 2 cents on this. So thank you for watching. Like, what I say, like and subscribe, blah 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 blah. Anyways, bye.